Greetings. Come on in the room. Come on in the room. It is Wednesday. We have made it to hump day. We have made it to almost the middle of the week. By lunchtime today, we'll be at the middle of the week. And I am so glad, and I bet that you are too. This is the weekday refill, and I am so very glad that you are here. As I prepare for my presentation that I'm going to be doing with the NKVA Student Symposium on Friday, I will be talking about rest. And as I think about rest and I ponder the things that I have learned about rest, I realize and I recognize that rest is a strategy. And honestly, it's a strategy from the Lord, right? Um, the Lord rested, and He modeled rest for us when He performed creation, or when He created the world, right? And then He told us that we should rest, right? When He gave the Ten Commandments to Moses, and He said, honor the Sabbath and keep it holy, right? So rest is like really important to the Lord. Even so much to say that in the 23rd chapter of Proverbs, Proverbs 23 and 4, it says, uh, do not make yourself weary, or really the Tree of Life version says, do not wear yourself out trying to be rich, but use wisdom and restrain yourself. Essentially, what the scripture is telling us is that we need to lean not onto our own understanding, right? Our own understanding is going to tell us that wealth comes from hustling, moving, and never stopping. A lie. Okay. Um, it tells us things like, um, I'm gonna to say things and to have like this hustle and grind mentality, to keep going and keep going and keep going and never stop, never rest. And in fact, it's lied to us and told us that rest is lazy, and all of these other things, and that is just not at all true. And I really despise one of the sayings of the culture, which is, I'm going to sleep when I die. Really? Friend, I think you might be dead sooner than later, because the human body actually requires sleep and rest to survive. So this I'll sleep till I die resting mentality is a trick of the enemy. And the truth is that God desires for us to have abundance, right? We see many places in scripture where Jesus himself said, I came that you may have life and have it more abundantly. And life and more abundantly, those two words, I really like that, because it's all reaching. It's like all encompassing. It's not just wealth and finances, because wealth in finances is important. Wealth is necessary to advance the kingdom, and in a way, right? But wealth in your health, wealth in your body, wealth in your relationships, just like wealth can expand, and it does expand our entire being. It's not just focused on what's in our wallet or our bank account. Um, and so, with this current culture of going, and never stopping, with this culture of people all over the place, all over the web, like do this, do that, wake up at this time, wake up and grind, all of this kind of stuff, right? Like all of these things promote us to have a busy life, right? And a hustle life to keep going. And here's the truth, right? Busy does not equal productivity. I learned this several years ago with one of my mentors, Terry Taylor. She talked about you got to stop telling our clients and our family that we're busy, because busy literally means I'm overloaded. I have no more capacity for anything else. Whereas my schedule is full, I'm fully committed, or man, I had a full and productive day. Those are different ways to really describe what happened. Your day was full. But sometimes when we say busy, right, it feels like there's nothing else that you can add on to that. And our clients actually feel like there's nothing else that you can add on to that. In fact, at a time, I actually tried this once and I told a client, hey, man, and my client said, "Are you busy?" And I said, "No, I am full, but I also have the capacity to take and to serve more clients." And do you know what he did? He said, "Okay, good, because I have someone that I want to refer to you." See, he was looking to see if I was overfilled or if I had room. Busy is not good. Busy just means just that, like you are overloaded and you are stressing out. And like I said, busy is not kingdom. Rest is kingdom. And rest is seems very contrary to what the world is telling us to do. But like this, the proverb says, we can't, essentially tells us we can't lean on ourselves. We have to restrain ourselves from thinking that we can gain wealth out of our own regard, out of our own insight, our own intellect, our own thought, like our own selves. Instead, it tells us that we can't lean on ourselves. It reminds us that we have to trust the Lord. And so I'm reminded that rest is a strategy. It's okay for me to sleep. It's okay for me to relax. It's okay for me to take a long shower, a long bath. It's okay for me to go on vacation. It's okay for me not to answer that phone call. It's okay for me to take a moment in the day to breathe, to just pause and breathe. And the reason why it's okay is because rest gives us an opportunity to recalibrate, to restore, and it just feels real good. I come back, you probably come back with more clarity and really sometimes more direction and more creativity on whatever project it is that you're working on. I certainly know that I've gotten some of my great ideas because I was rested or because I paused to rest, to refocus on what it is that I was working on. Sometimes for me, that's a ride, or going to the grocery store, or cooking in the kitchen. I mean, it doesn't, my rest doesn't have to look like your rest. What restores me doesn't have to be the same thing that restores you. But I admonish you to find out what does restore you and what does fill you back up and feed you in order for you to be able to proceed forward and do the things that God has called and purposed you to do. Because the truth is, interior design is ministry, and you're called to serve. And we can't serve from an empty place. And rest is one of those things that actually refills us and brings us back to a place to where we can serve and serve with our full capacity, which means that we can create with our full capacity and we can really do the great work of the Lord as we transform homes. And so, as I close out today's weekday refill, I just want to thank you for being here. My name is Sarissa Latoy. I'm the Dreamcaster. I'm an author, a seasoned interior designer, and a mentor to Christian interior designers just like yourself. These moments, these weekday refills, are times for us to be able to pause, to center on God, and to refill so that we can pour from our overflow. And rest allows us to do just that, pour from our overflow. If this benefited you, hit your heart in any way, or made you think about how you rest and you go about your day, I say subscribe for more weekday refills. Come join me along this journey of God pouring into us as we go out and we do the work, His work in interior design. Because I'll say it one more time: interior design is ministry, and we are called to serve. So design, serve, and thrive. Be blessed, and I will see you tomorrow.